I don't know anything about Smirnov, but the circumstances around his indictment and his rearrest and the changing of the original indictment by Weiss is very concerning.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer doesn't seem to be giving up his doomed impeachment probe over Joe Biden, despite the fact that his star key witness, Alexander Smirnov, is in a little bit of trouble. On Tuesday, the Kentucky Republican went on Fox Business to say that Smirnov, whose story which was given to him by Russian intelligence and is the only foundation for the claims, which are otherwise unproven, that Biden took millions of dollars in bribes from a Ukrainian oligarch, was still credible, and that it is the FBI that was suspicious. In fact, here is the whole clip in context.
They've indicted even more is coming out about the informant, what role he played for the FBI. The FBI paid him to be a spy in Russia. They indicted him because he was communicating with Russia, but that's what they paid him for over 10 years to do. So I don't know anything about Smirnov, but the circumstances around his indictment and his rearrest and the changing of the original indictment by Weiss is very concerning, because everything that I've had to do with the FBI has been very suspicious throughout this investigation. The trust level that I have with the FBI is zero.
I don't know anything about my star witness who was paid, who was given information by the Russian government, but I do know that I do not trust the FBI. Whoa, hold on here. What is going on? So what, does Comer trust the Russian intelligence services over our own intelligence services? Now, look, I don't have a dog in this fight, right? Because as a leftist, I don't trust any of them. I don't trust any intelligence service. FBI, CIA. You know why? Because they have a history of crushing leftist movements in this country. So no love for them, okay? That said, we're not talking about a leftist movement here, all right? We're talking about somebody who, again, has admitted that he got his story about Biden bribery handed to him by Russian intelligence services. In order, by the way, to harm a candidate that the Russians don't exactly like. Weird. Yeah, it's not like they got him any information or had given any information about Donald Trump that could be compromising, right? Allegedly, or that would spur tons of investigations. I'm just saying, it just so happens to be allegations against the Biden which are unproven. And again, there's a reason that the Russians aren't exactly friendly with the Biden administration. It might have something to do with, the whole Biden funding their enemy in Ukraine, the country that they're trying to literally take over right now. Yeah, weird. And by the way, this is something that many Republicans have openly admitted they would like to stop doing. They would like to stop sending money to Ukraine. If they had the power to do so, and a president who would, again, stop any funding requests, or veto any funding requests that would go through Congress. I mean, like, Donald Trump doesn't want to fund Ukraine either. So, yes, that would mean help for the Russians. Right now, the Ukrainians are using and relying on weapons and money sent from the United States and other places. So, yeah, And Trump also, by the way, went on record saying that he would let Russia do whatever it wants to NATO countries that don't pay up, so to be a part of it. Can't imagine why the Russian government would be trying to hurt Biden in the election and help Donald Trump. Weird, right? Yes. And by the way, not a conspiracy theory, okay? Seems pretty obvious. Anybody with a brain can kind of say like, oh, yeah, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, they would prefer someone like Trump. Oh, but Putin said otherwise. And you believe him? I don't believe any of them. Okay. Now, let's get back to Comer saying, I don't understand. They were paying him to spy on the Russians. Why was he in trouble? The FBI. Well, his job was to apparently be an informant, right? Not to take and spread unfounded allegations that are being used to influence the election. Okay, I think that should be pretty obvious here. But, you know, Comer, I guess you got to spell things out for him. That's why he was indicted. All right. And since then, Smirnov has, again, admitted to law enforcement that top Russian intelligence officials were involved in this campaign, this unfounded, unproven campaign against President Joe Biden. That is a smear campaign. And the reason I say it's a smear campaign is because there's not a shred of evidence that Joe Biden took any illegal bribes or did anything for the countries that allegedly had given him those bribes. I mean, it should be pretty clear. Again, some of the evidence that they're like, oh, did you know? Did you know that Hunter Biden got loans from his dad to pay off his truck payment? And then later on, after he got paid for being on the Burisma board, you know, for doing his job on the board, paid his father back. Oh my God. That just means that he paid his dad back for money that he got when he was going through something difficult, a difficult period in his life. Again, I guess that concept does not exist for James Comer. Okay? No, he specifically looks at every single transaction as, aha, nefarious. Aha, nefarious. Aha. Ridiculous, right? And by the way, every one of the Republicans' witnesses here have stated that Joe Biden is not involved in Hunter Biden's business activities. I think we can all agree that, yes, the only reason that Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma is because he was a Biden. Yes. In fact, that is something that Devin Archer had said, yeah, Hunter Biden, of course, played that to his advantage, that he has the last name of Biden. That doesn't mean that his father was benefiting financially from Hunter's activities. Okay? Again, not a shred of evidence. Every single witness has said Joe Biden has not benefited from any of this. Hunter Biden has, on account of being a Biden. It's the easiest thing to figure out in the world that if you have a famous name, you know, if you're related to a powerful person, that there are some advantages, that's going to open some doors for you when it comes to opportunities. That is the way of the world. That doesn't mean, that's not evidence that there's anything illegal going on here. All right? But again, as I keep pointing out, though, in these different segments, the facts don't matter. Okay?
Just forget about the evidence.
It doesn't matter. They want to punish Joe Biden for the Democrats impeaching Donald Trump. That's what it all comes about. Okay? It's what it all comes down to, along with, of course, hurting him politically in time for the next election. That's what this is about, and why Comer is trying so hard to keep this thing alive, even though it's a zombie at this point. And you gotta put it out of its misery.